Hey, welcome everybody. It's Merrill and Jennifer, Jennifer and Merrill. So here we are, our Thursday afternoon kind of a takedown of fundability and fill in the blank, right? So Jennifer, what are we talking about? Fundability and today?
Commercial financing.
Yes, yes. So we're talking larger properties, multifamily, etc. Even some business buildings, commercial buildings, etc. Right? So what have you found out there, Jennifer? What has been what are the biggest problems that your tribe and your community are running into when it comes to commercial financing and commercial real estate financing, especially?
So I've seen this recently with a deal that seems like it would be a pretty small deal. It's only about 4 or 5 units. And again, it depends on what they decide to do with it. They want to do some renovations and change it and do some zoning stuff. And so they're putting together a couple different money sources, meaning a few private investors, but then they want to use a commercial loan. So they're getting tripped up with some of the stuff there because they're not rock stars in the commercial funding game, so to speak. And so they want to buy these multi-units, and they're not massive multi-units, not yet. This is the group of people I've been working with recently. So they're just trying to figure out, how do we get some of other multiple investors and we all go in on a project, so one person isn't trying to do it alone? And how do you make it so that everybody is fundable?
All right. So, but we're not at the level of syndication.
No.
Okay, so not a syndication, not a single purchaser, but how do we combine and so that 2, 3, 4 of us are all on the line for the entire loan? So let's these are great situations. So Jennifer, there's first of all, 4 units is still within the Fannie Mae universe, right? And then 5, 6 to 8, forgive me, I don't recall, but 5, 6 to 8 units is Freddie, and then Freddie Mac, and then above that threshold, whatever that is for Freddie, now we're into joint ventures, right? And so joint venture financing through commercial loans. So let's get a couple of principles down that we may know in the back of our mind, but there are some really clean lines that we can draw. First of all, whoever's credit report is included in the deal, their revenue is included in the deal. Now, sometimes that's not so bad. But what's horrible is whoever's revenue is in the deal, their credit profile is also under consideration. And every lender that I know, I mean, there are deal lenders. We're not talking deal lenders. We're talking loans where we would go pick up a commercial loan. Yeah. The worst credit is the threshold for evaluation and their revenue. Their credit, the worst credit, and the worst and their revenue, because they want to know that if everybody else dies in a helicopter accident, the last person standing has the ability to repay. Everybody clear? So this does not really bode well for the cash rich and credit poor crowd, and it doesn't really bode well for the amazing profile and no revenue, no dollars. So the way we solve for this, the way I solve with my clients, is that we create we want everybody to be fundable going in. So first of all, don't do deals with anybody that's not sitting on, I don't know, a 760 fundable profile or higher. Yeah, you can get away with 720, but remember, 720 is skirting the edge. You got to have a 740 for a paper on residential. So we want to be better. Go, Jen.
Wait a minute, but I want you to explain a little bit more about, because you just slipped it in there, talking your jargon. You said a fundable profile. So for a commercial loan like this, what is a fundable profile?
Okay,
Because it's
great
not
question.
credit score, right?
Yeah, it's not credit score. What they're looking for is the volume of loans that have been on your profile and the amount of your credit limits of the current revolving account portfolio. Let's put it this way. You are not commercial loan fundable. And remember, I'm talking about FICO sensitive loans and bank loans, not deal based loans, not asset based loans.
Right.
But you are not fundable if the biggest credit card you have is a $5,000 or a $10,000 limit. You only have one of those, and the only installment loan that is on your profile is a $20,000 car. We have to show that you and every partner in the joint venture have a higher capacity for borrowing money so that there's not what the lenders call sticker shock. Have you had a loan where the first mortgage, the first payment comes in and you're like, how am I going to pay for this? This is crazy. I didn't know $1 million mortgage was going to be $6,000 a month payment, et cetera. You have to be acclimated to the process of borrowing, or a lender. And so the lender's not going to accept you, right, to finish that sentence. So we want the scores that represent, we want a higher than 740 score, but it's got to be a fundable profile, because we want higher volume revolving accounts, credit cards, etc. And
so
charge cards.
They want to see that you've had money and that you've handled it well and that you've continued through, right? They're really looking
Absolutely
at high volume. Again, that's one of the big things, is they want to see that you have had money and you've been able to manage it.
That perfectly said. And you say it so much simpler than I do. So what she said, oops, the wrong.
I know it's the opposite. It's
the other way. So, so that is correct. But remember, we're talking about a joint venture. So if there's 2, 3, 4 of you, right, they're going to count the worst profile and whatever income comes with that as the baseline. Can this deal be done just with this person?
Yeah.
And then they're going to look for the second and the third and the fourth, however many other people are involved in the JV, right? But remember, the way to handle this in every circumstance, regardless of the changing sands, the shifting sands of lender approval criteria, is to have the highest fundable profile now. Not when you need to do the deal and you're scrambling to find somebody who has a better profile, and you're trying to find somebody with a better profile, and they're still going to use yours because it's the worst. Now, the last thing that I want to put into this is the most annoying of all, but between the three of us, you listening and Jennifer and I, is that the person with the best profile also runs the deal. So the more you have more influence in the deal, if you can expect more from your partners because you're setting the threshold of funding excellence. Am I making sense? You get to actually set the terms of the deal because you have the most to lose, at least financial, with regarding your financial reputation. Because if somebody mucks up this whole thing, you have a 5 to 7 year turn on your financial reputation. And how many people have we run into, Jennifer? I meet them every month. New clients come in and say, I was part of this deal and I just got clobbered, and now I got high 500 scores and lates and this and that and the other, and business credit cards that didn't get paid by the business, by my partners, and now I'm hammered. Yep. You get to set the terms if you have the most long-term at stake. And what I mean by long-term, guys, is if the deal goes south, who loses what? And if you lose a spectacular financial reputation, you get to determine the terms. Now, here's what's crazy. most individuals that you're starting to do a JV, they will have never heard the words that just came out of my mouth and the words that you're going to use when you approach the JV. Somebody puts in 50,000 and you put in 30,000. Yeah, I got the most to lose. I go, no, if this goes sideways, I have the most to lose because I have a spectacular credit profile that this thing's going to get ruined if we do not do a spectacular job of supporting each other and maintaining the parameters of the deal. The difference of $20,000, I will show you that a ruined credit profile is worth millions of dollars.
Right.
So these are new ways for you to open conversations and have honest conversations about what is actually at stake. Money, if you've got a great profile, money's easy. Money's easy. If you have a bad profile, money's hard.
Yes. So can I give a quick little summary that it's really, one of the things that you just said is number one, the person who has the best funding profile is really the person who gets to help to basically make the most decisions. But if you don't know that, number two, you're going to miss an opportunity to really take control and help educate your other partners on fundability and that actual profile of how powerful your profile is. And then number three, the other thing is to make sure you understand what a funding profile that you need for business, especially for a commercial real estate loan. It's very different than a residential one. And you need to understand, they want to see that you've held on to money, that you've had money that comes through, that you don't just pay everything off in cash, which is a it's an idea of that a time has passed. People want to I just want to pay this off and I want to pay that off. And pay this off. But yet what the lenders want to do is they want to see that you can manage money so that if they're going to hand you an even bigger chunk of money, they've seen the money come in and the money go out.
Well managed, timely, faithful, etc. Absolutely. So that's a great summary, Jennifer, because you guys, the higher now just between those of us who know what's going on, the better your profile, the more control you can have over the deal when you set the framework that financial reputation has more to lose than just money, number one. But the worst deal or the terms are going to be based on the worst profile and the revenues that are associated with that. So do not be the worst, be the most fundable, be the best. And that way and then surround yourself with individuals who are all similar to you within the same funding criteria. And then let's take it to the bank.
Yeah. So surround yourself with excellence. Number one, understand how to be excellent yourself. Understand how to make your profile fundable so that you can get commercial loans, no problem. Number two, assert that you are the one who has the best profile, if you do. But actually, I really ask. I think that's the other thing that so often people, they shy away when you start to talk about money or credit. And I think that's one of the really important parts is that you actually talk about it.
You have to have that conversation. Absolutely, Jennifer.
Yeah. And then if they don't know how to do it, how do they get there? How do they get to boot camp? How do they learn?
Yeah. So that's the biggest win of all. If you want to know all of these principles and how to apply them everywhere from residential through commercial and the profile you need that's a win in every instance, go to getfundablejennifer.com. We have a boot camp, a 2-day boot camp that's actually on the 20. You like how I have to look at my calendar over here? That we are at getfundablejennifer.com, and it will take you to the registration page for the boot camp. Just read the reviews. Don't believe a damn word that I say. Read the reviews. This is life-changing level of exactly what you need to succeed in, especially since our subject matter is about multifamily and commercial, a way to kill it, crush it with either joint ventures or with Freddie Mac, depending on where you're playing. So you guys, getfundablejennifer.com. You see it there on your screen. Go just read the reviews and decide from there. Well, it's
Perfect.
always amazing, Jennifer, to spend time with you. And you keep coming up with all these great things that I'm going to take this recording and transcribe it and make an ebook out of it, because because I don't always, you bring up opportunities for me to connect dots, literally, from your expertise and your experience with literally how many tens of thousands of your tribe. So I'm thrilled.
Thank you. It's such a
super awesome for
pleasure.
me.
And I love the fact that you're such a teacher who loves to give and loves to teach people and help people. You change their lives. So thank you.
I love it. Thank you, Jennifer. Hey, have a great day. Everybody say hi to all your loved ones for me. All right. Have a great afternoon, guys.